Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy SoSo, and welcome back to the channel. Make sure you're hitting that like, comment, and subscribe button, and turning on the notifications so you get notified when we drop hits like this. This week, Joel and I are breaking down Xander Schauffele winning his second major across the pond. The Olympics are on the way, and we're checking in with the U.S. men's team and the rest of the weekend in sports. It's time to take a ride, y'all. Let's go! What it do, my boy?
Hey, what's
That's a
going on,
nice sweatshirt you got on there.
Oh, I'm in the college football mood, so I'm representing my alma mater.
This guy's been playing. You can tell he's been playing that college.
I've been
25.
I've been getting worked on 2000. What is it? NCAA. I was gonna say 2K.
Yeah.
NCAA 2025,
which is raw.
10 years.
Raw.
10 years absent.
No, and it was about time that they brought it back. Number one, right? Number one. And number two, it's a really good game to play. It's probably better than Madden, right? And one of the funner games that you can match up and just square up with anybody, whether it's online or in person, and really get a good game in, right?
Somebody was telling me, they were like, oh, but people are only going to play that until Madden comes out. I was like, nah, not necessarily, because like this is like there's so many more schools, there's so many more conferences and things like that you can do. Obviously, there's the powerhouse schools, but you don't necessarily want to play with those. Like you want to do like at least we've been talking about doing all the rivalries. And shit.
For sure. I mean, it's a more playable game than what Madden is. 100%, dog. You know what I mean?
And with the NIL now, all the players are in there, so you're playing with certain guys or whatever.
And they're getting their piece. It's not a huge piece, but they're getting a piece.
So they get a free copy of the game. I'll take it.
And they get like what, $1,000 or some shit like that?
Real?
Yeah, bro, it's something like that. Or it's in between $500 to $1,000, but still,
all right.
They're giving you just to be in the game.
I'm sure there's a scale though, dog. I'm sure there's like a better player. Like the guys on the cover, I'm sure are getting a little more.
Absolutely, and they pick a bunch of guys to be on certain covers in different regions and stuff like that, which is smart, right? Because again, they're making it about the school and the player representing the school. It's cool. I like the game, dog. I think they did a good mic. I'm working on some other things, but yeah, it's on the list.
Don't get it, bro.
It's on the list. Nah, a couple people already hit me up about it, dog.
Yeah, but it's fun. But that's why I was like, let me throw it on. We got the football season coming up. We don't really got a whole lot in football news.
No, man, it's not a lot going on right now. We're still a couple of weeks away from August 9th, right, which is the first Miami Dolphins preseason game. And we're just waiting until then, right? Because, yes, there has been some Dolphin news, which we'll cover real quick. Kenyon Drake retired. No, Kenyon
Drake.
Kenyon Drake.
He retired as a Dolphin?
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure that was like one of the last 3 teams he's played for, dog. So
nah, but wasn't he out of Arizona after us and stuff?
Maybe.
I forgot where he was, but
he retired.
Right, good for him. We'll always remember him for the Miami Miracle, right?
Yes, for sure. And one of the guys that we recently signed, Shaq
Barrett, our off-season acquisition. Yeah, that guy just decided to pursue retirement,
which is weird. He's still in his early 30s, but
we're seeing that more and more nowadays, though.
Yeah, I guess, which is good for him, right? Like if he's not feeling it to that level, it's better you get out now instead of starting the season and possibly putting yourself where you can get injured, right?
Yeah.
Especially in that position. It's very, very, very physical.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it does create another need for the Dolphins, right? Because we saw that Jalen Phillips and Chubb are both starting on the PUP list. Sucks, but we kind of expected it. Yeah. I didn't expect those guys to be ready for the season, and would have questioned
injuries that they sustained.
No way.
But there was news of potential people coming in to have a conversation.
Yeah, one of the guys from the former Bear,
Yannick Ngakoue was one of the guys, a former Ole Miss star when he was at Ole Miss. He kind of just got into some trouble there at the end of his career and killed his draft stock. And since he's been in the NFL, he's been, a little bit, I would say he's underperformed based off of like how raw, like everybody thought he was going to be, but he's still a real viable option. He's young and, who knows, maybe he needs a defense like the Dolphins just to be a part of it and not to be the star of it.
The biggest thing is that it's okay that it happened right now, right? Not 3-4 weeks into the season where we're, even the preseason, right? We're like, all right, we're trying to figure out the reps. We're trying to figure out schemes. We're trying to figure out lineups and all this stuff. And then, boom, this guy retires, right? What it does create a little bit of a vacuum for Chris Greer to go out there and find somebody to replace that. right? Because there's not going to necessarily be a great marker for that, i.e., we would have got somebody in that position before. Also, I don't think we're in a position where we're ready to trade for that position. I think the Dolphins are getting ready to go through the season, right, with what they got and put the kid out there, Chop, and saying, bro, go at it, figure it out.
Throw him straight to the wolves.
Figure it out.
Sink or swim.
Figure it out.
We've done that with our other guys, and we've seen them be successful. You know, they take
Figure
their
it
licks,
out.
but they adapt quickly. So
you're young enough and athletic enough that you should be able to find a way to make an impact. Now, am I expecting you to be a 15 sack a season kid? Absolutely not.
Not right away.
Absolutely
maybe, but
not.
If you did,
but work, no, man, get out of here.
You imagine that, bro? If we
yeah,
had
it would be,
do that?
bro. It would be out of this world. It would be out of this world, Joel, because nobody would expect it. But therein lies the point, right? Where what we're saying for this kid is to say, go out there and work. That's your job right now. Go get beat up. Go push these guys. Go make them throw two guys at you. Go out there and be a nuisance. Figure it out, right? Because right now your game is not polished enough to say, well, hit them with the swim move and then get to the backfield and get in the quarterback. Nah, bro. Grind. That's all you got to do. And if he can do that until these guys come back and becomes a part of the team, I think it'll help his development, right, as an NFL player. Because maybe he's not a star. It's really hard for guys to turn into a star in the NFL, dog. It's really hard. But if you can turn into a really hard worker, right, and be a valuable part of the team, then you are going to have a longer future in the NFL, especially here on the Dolphins, right? These guys have been known to take care of guys who come up in that draft ranking. And we're going to have his rights for the next 4 years anyway, so might as well put him to the fire. It's not like a quarterback, right, where you're like, let's take the time to mold him and figure that out. But this kid is like, lawnmower, baby. Crank that guy and let him go, dog.
I mean, but he's not the only one either. You know, I'm here. I'm looking at Finsider.com, and they're reporting. You know, we got hopeful in Chop, but we also have hopefuls in Muhammad Kamara, which is our 5th round pick, and a guy named Grayson Murray, who was an undrafted free agent. So it looks like we've made some moves, like for young talent,
right?
Which is good because what that does now is like, you know, Chop has the job secure, but it's like, you know, all right. I gotta prove I'm the best rookie in here, and I don't think there's gonna be a problem for him to do it.
Yeah.
But now it's some healthy competition between these other guys, you know, to go in there and fill those voids where we need them to early on in the season.
It's gonna be open competition for sure, right? The best man is gonna win, right? And again, it's who works the hardest, right? And those guys have been there early enough to know, all right, when the vets are here and everything's a go and everything's a green light, I gotta be ready. And we're gonna find out.
Yeah. Besides that, bro, the only other news is Tyreek Hill had another kid.
Oh my God.
Congratulations to the Hill family.
I hope he get them some money.
And that's about it, bro.
Yeah,
that's about it. That's the only other Dolphin news.
That's it. It's not a lot.
Tyreek is growing his pod of Dolphins.
It's not a lot. But I did see that Jalen Wright is working out with Waddle. I like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a group of 6 of them or 8 of them.
Good to see that.
And it was good to see those guys putting in some work together, though, because I feel like they're going to see a lot of the field together. You know, they're going to see a lot of the field together. Let's talk a little bit of golf. The Open this weekend, one of the hardest tournaments ever in the world because of the elements.
Crazy.
What a great scene, though.
Yeah.
Beautiful scenes.
I mean,
rolling fairways, rolling fucking greens, like
that's links golf, baby.
Baby, it was tough out there, dog, and the world's best were brought to their knees, dog. Brought to their knees, Joel.
Bro, it was a bloodbath out there when the guy that won the fan duel, out of 6 possible players, only 3 of them made the cut.
Yeah.
And the guy that came in second place, only 2 of his 6 players made the cut.
That's crazy.
How do I know that? I was the guy in second place.
That's me.
For the fucking 4th time this season, bro.
Hey, it's
4 runner-ups, bro. How crazy is that, bro? I just suck. But I'm just good enough to come in second place.
Joel, nobody had these guys in the top 5. Nobody had these guys in the top 5.
You didn't think Xander had a chance at top 5?
Bro,
the way he's played this year, bro.
No disrespect to him. He's a 2-time major champion now. No disrespect to him. But if you would have said, Steven, name 5 guys right now that are gonna win the Open, I don't think I would have picked Xander. A lot of people would have had him. I think so.
But
the way he won, my bad, though, but the way that he won is like shooting the best rounds out there. You know, a personal best
Sunday.
Yeah, a personal best 65.
Unreal.
Unreal.
When everybody else is just battling for par,
bro,
you're going out there shooting 6-7 under.
Let's go.
That's crazy.
That's being locked in, dog.
Yeah, bro. Started like one back, I think, that day because Billy Horschel. To your point, like that's why I say it, because Schauffele, out of the 5 guys in the top 5, it was the most likely for you to be like, yeah, he would be in the top 5. Maybe you didn't have him to win the tournament, but like, of these 5 guys, who do you think was going to be in the top 5? You're going to go
for
Xander,
sure.
Schauffele all day,
for sure.
But you had Justin Rose come in tied for second with Billy Horschel.
Crazy.
You had a guy named T. Lawrence. I don't even know. It's a
where the hell he came?
Tristan Lawrence, I think, from South Africa.
I don't know where he came from.
Maybe South Africa. I don't know.
He is.
Yeah, South Africa. He came in 4th, and then Russell Henley came in 5th.
I don't know who that is.
American golfer.
Look at that.
You know, so it's like, to your point, like this was crazy. Like these guys outplayed Scotty Scheffler, Cameron Smith, Brooks Koepka. I mean, Bryson DeChambeau. You know, you name it. They outplayed all of these guys, man. Rory was rough to watch, dog.
Buddy,
rough.
Talk about being in the rough. That man was finding roughs left and right, and it was really affecting him and a lot of other golfers, dog. Where like, bro, you couldn't even sometimes see the ball, let alone hit the ball out of there. You know, you kind of had to get lucky to pop it out. And a lot of those guys, they don't lay up as often as they should, right? These are guys who are mentally able to go for it or whatnot. But when you're in, you know, a lie where you can't see your ball, you kind of see it, you can't brush it away. You have to take a hack at it, dog.
You got to try.
You got to try to get it back out there.
This guy, Tristan Lawrence, on, I think it was like the 17th hole, he was in like one of those pop bunkers. Which that's the other part too, is like just the course itself, bro. Those bunkers where they are, it's like you can hit an amazing shot, and if you end up in one of those bad boys, your day's done. And this guy managed. So he was in one of those bunkers, and he was like so far up against like the 5-foot wall or lip or whatever that he like tried to blast it out of there, and it hit the wall and bounced backwards, but right behind him, just outside the bunker though. Like he hit it, boom, got over the bunker. And he was sitting right behind it, and then managed to hit a shot up there, and I think he got it up and down for like bogey or whatever. And bro, but like
that's luck.
Imagine luck. Sunday, like bro, the difference between like him getting 4th place and him getting 14th place was you know, imagine he stays in that bunker. Yeah. And he can't get out of that bunker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you do?
And the 4th hole. Well, how many people hit their tee shot on that par 3 into that bunker, dog?
That left one, the one all along the whole left side of that green.
Bro, and you're like, dog, they just saw 3 people. Everybody who teed off before them, they're looking over there because they're finishing on the green. They're obviously not that far apart. So you see guys landing in a bunker. You hear it. And, right?
I love that.
It sucks, dog. You get up to the tee box and you're like, well, I definitely don't want to hit it where these guys hit it. And sure enough, the wind, the rain,
the conditions were tough.
It was hard out there, dog.
But that's links golf, bro. That's why the Open is like such an important, like, not only golf championship, but like just like an event for golf, you know what I mean? Because that's like the old school golf, dog. Like that's where golf was born. Yeah, you know what I mean? So like it's a true test. And like I saw somebody on social media, I think it might have been a tweet or whatever, said like we need to have like not just one like major championship, but like a whole month dedicated to like Scotland, the UK, and like,
more than one
because you already have the Scottish Open, you have you have something else that goes on too, and they're like throw in another one, make it 4 events like back to back to back in the month of between July and August or whatever.
Yeah,
and that wouldn't be a bad idea. Like give it a real good. The only problem is the coverage, bro, because you had, you by 3 o'clock, it was done. And that's like usually the time that guys are like turning on their TV. They're used to turning on their TV to turn on Sunday golf.
I mean, I get it. But at the end of the day, dog, what you want to do is put on a good product. And that would be a good product because it really is a tougher thing. Like we saw Lowry, he was leading at one point, playing good golf out there, all things considered, right?
We talked about him last week.
And we talked about him, and boom, fell off. And it was like, damn, bro.
Yeah, he got 6 though.
If it's that hard for him, a guy who's used to playing out there, right? Used to playing out there all the time, and he was doing well and in the cut and all that stuff. but it was just that makes it easier for a guy like me to watch to be like, all right, these guys are all human because this shit is hard.
Hitting from bunker to bunker,
You know what I
like we
mean?
do.
Yeah, I saw a couple of guys pull out a driver on a par three, and it's like,
Yeah, Sunday.
yeah,
The
go
leaders teed
for
off
it,
with driver on the par 3.
go for it, dog, go for it. You know,
You
because you're
got
not looking to
40 mile an
blast
hour
it,
wind
but
in
you
your
got
face.
40 mile an hour wind, and if you hit it up, the wind's gonna say catch. Here it goes, right here.
Yeah, it's just crazy,
It's
bro.
crazy.
And imagine if they're hitting driver there, what do we do from
Oh,
those
I'm
tees?
throwing my ball on the floor.
I know we're not playing those tees, but like,
I'm throwing my ball on the floor.
You and I
dog.
both know that's not as effective as actually hitting a golf club.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, what are we doing? If we're having to play from back there with them, like, what are we doing? If those guys are hitting driver,
dog, realistically, we're looking at a hybrid at best, saying fuck it, I'm gonna try to keep this bitch as low as possible.
I'm hitting driver, dog.
Yeah,
I'm ripping dog. I'm not hitting no hybrid. But it's honestly like that's why it's such a great win for Xander.
Yeah, bro.
Because of the fact
give him
that
some love,
like
dog.
he really solidified like his year with this win. Because granted he won his first major, being the PGA Championship earlier this year at Valhalla, after the incident with the police officer and Scotty Schauffele. So who knows, if that would have changed anything. We know Bryson DeChambeau was nipping at his heels in that tournament.
Correct.
And Xander ended up making a birdie on 18 to win by 1.
Badass.
He got a little bit of flack, at least in our friend group, because of the fact that, the course just didn't play that tough. It's not a hard course. Those guys tore it up. He won at 21, 22 under par.
Yeah.
So we want to see, more of a challenge is kind of the argument that we had. Well, what better challenge than the Open, especially at this golf course? And he went out, played amazing for 3 days, and then stepped it up on Sunday and played lights out when the rest of the field couldn't even put together an average round of golf.
Yeah.
So, I mean, shout out to Xander.
No, for sure, dog. Becoming the first guy to go double major since 2018 when Brooks did it. It's something to behold, right? When a guy is able to play so well on the day that it counts, because that's the second time he shoots a 65 on a Sunday to win a major.
Yep.
So I don't give a if everybody says, well, that course is easy. Yeah, it's easy, but guess what? All these other guys are putting up the same amount of scores that I am. Yep. And if I miss this putt, guess what? I went from first all the way down to fifth. So yeah, you got to give a guy credit when he can go out there and beat whoever's the best that day while shooting the best. Because it's like, all right, not only do I come back and win, you guys are making mistakes, and I'm out here balling on Sunday. That's when it counts. That's when Tiger did a lot of his damage, right? Where he would be like, show up in the red shirt and be like, I'm down what? 4 holes, 3 strokes? That's it? No problem. Toma. It felt like that's what Xander did, dog. To play mistake-free golf on a course like that, yeah, that's amazing, dog. He really earned those 2 majors this year, dog. I don't care what anybody says.
So it came up to the question of now with this win, at least I brought it up. I don't know if anybody else bring it up, but it came up with me. And I want to ask you, all things considered, who would you think they're going to make somebody every year is the player of the year, the golfer of the year? Who wins the golfer of the year this year? In my opinion, now it's between 2 guys, Scotty Scheffler and Xander Schauffele.
Right. You know what's funny? Super funny, dog, and super random. Georgie hit me up about this, right? Because we were texting. He was like, what'd you think about this dude winning? And I was like, it's crazy that he's able to beat Scotty, and Scotty wasn't the same killer number 1 Scotty that we saw at the beginning of the season, right? And I think that that's where Xander gets the slight edge. Once Scotty had that issue with the cops, yeah, he went out and performed the same day, right? Like a true champion, like a true legend. That's what he was going to do that day, right? But it did take an effect on him. It did take a toll on him. Mentally, it did. Because if not, he would be able to be in top 3 finishes and stuff like that. We wouldn't see Scotty kind of like, play bogeys and struggling. And he would have been in the top 5 for sure if it had been the same guy who was winning often and early this season. In my opinion, which is not a great opinion of golf, I think that Xander gets the slight edge because of the fact that he went out there on Sunday when he needed to shoot his best game and did it 2 times in order to win 2 major championships, 2 major tough things to do. right? Stay ahead of a big group of guys that are coming down on an easy course and beating world's number one and a guy who can probably beat you any day of the week, right? And then doing it again at the Open on a course that's not home, where the European guys are playing out of their mind, and you have to be the guy who's the American to keep the streak alive of not having a European win that trophy.
And speaking of which, just a little side note: the Americans took all 4 golf championships this year, all 4
All
majors.
4 of them, all 4 of them. You know what I mean? And this is gonna bode well going into the next Ryder Cup, right? We got the announcement of the captain being announced.
That was big news too.
Huge.
Keegan Bradley after he got snubbed from the 2022 team, 2023 team, I should say.
And then again, you get a guy like Xander, right, who's a big figure, let's say, in that USA team for the Ryder Cup. He's out there playing the best golf of his life when it matters. He's got to have that edge. He's got to have that edge.
Points wise, he'll definitely be in there. But going back to the conversation, of the golfer of the year, I mean, I totally understand, why you would, say Xander. 2 out of 4 majors. I mean, that's so big to be able to do that, especially because those tournaments mean that much and they're that much harder. He won the PGA Championship, he won the Open. 2 very different, styles of golf and layouts and conditions. And he was able to go out there against the best in the world and get it done twice. But I think it's unfair to necessarily say absolutely without doubt, certainly that is the champion, the golfer of the year. I think it's a little bit of recency bias because of the fact that we have these 2 majors in this last, couple months or whatever. But the year that Scottie Scheffler has had, bro,
he's been great.
It's been such a long year that we forget. And I just want to mention this. He started the year tied for 5th at the Century Tournament of Champions. All right. Then he tied for 6th at Pebble Beach. So that's 2 top 10s already. Then he got 3rd at Waste Management, tied for 3rd. That's 3 top 10s in 4 starts. Then he, at the Genesis Invitational, tied for 10. That's 4 top 10s in 5 starts. This is where it starts to get interesting. So, all right, because they come over to Florida for the Florida swing.
What happens?
He dominates at Bay Hill. He wins the Arnold Palmer Invitational.
Balling.
Then he goes to Sawgrass as the defending champion. Wins. For the 5th major in golf.
Yeah.
And he wins outright. 2 wins on the year. Now he's at 7 top 10s in 8 starts. Then he ties for 2nd, barely loses out at the Texas Children's Open. I think he might have lost in a playoff to a guy named Jaeger. And that was like it was like just one
blinked.
It was like one thing didn't go Scotty's way at the end, and that was the only reason why he didn't win.
Yeah.
But if not, he would have had his 3rd win in a row. Bounces back the following week at the Masters. I don't know if you know this. He already won one.
Yeah.
Wins the Masters this year.
Yes.
All right. So now we're at 3 wins. Forget about the top 10s in general. Now we're just talking wins. Following week, he goes over to Harbortown and wins the RBC Heritage. That's 4 wins. Goes down to the Charles Schwab, PGA Championship. He had the incident. Tied for 8th. He tied for 8th. Hold on. No. Wait, before you start.
The decline.
Before you start with your little trending down hand gesture, you think it's a decline, but he ties for 8th. Charles Schwab ties for 2nd. The following week at Muirfield, one of the hardest golf tournaments all year. It's not a major. He wins that bitch.
Okay. And then?
And then he ends up tying for 7th now at the Open, not playing his best golf, but he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins and 10 top 10s on the year.
Let me ask you this.
That's an impressive resume for
super impressive
player of the year.
Nobody is saying otherwise, right? That's why I said slight, not outright, slight. And let me ask you this. When he was getting all these wins and when he was up there as far as number 1, right? And continues to be number 1. When he was up there, what were the expectations being put in front of him? It wasn't just win player of the year, right? It was like, all right, we're expecting you to win multiple majors. Do the Tiger-esque stuff that you're doing, right? Let's see you keep it rolling into the majors. Did he win multiple majors this year? No. The guy who did do it is Xander Schauffele. You know what I mean? And there is a level of hardship that comes with that. Because you can win a major and be like, I played the round of my life. I played the weekend of my life, and I just so happened to hit when Scotty missed, right? And that can happen. Cool. And we saw that Scotty was always in the mix, right?
Yeah, he's always in the mix.
He's always in the mix.
But I think you're kind of downplaying the tournaments that he did win because they're
I'm
not
not
majors.
at all.
It's not necessarily like I'm saying like, oh, he won the John Deere.
No,
and
I
he won
get
the
it.
Puerto Rico Open. Like,
I get it.
Those are tournaments that the tournaments that he won this year are on the level of majors. Like, bro, that tournament at Muirfield was insane. To the point where they have to change it next year and put it sooner so that it's not right before the PGA Championship. And even still with that, he was still in the mix, even with the jail bout or not. Like, Scotty's had a hell of a year.
He has.
Had a kid.
Nobody is saying no, dog. Nobody is saying no. But to discount winning 2 majors in a sport where it's hard to win twice the majors, Joel, not regular things. Everybody's thing, especially if you're a top player, is majors. That's what Tiger was known for. That's what Jack was known for. That's what Arnie was known for. All of these guys, majors. Got to go out there and win majors.
Yeah, but Scotty has majors, bro.
He does.
He has the Masters. Like, just with the fact that he won the first major in golf, that right there has rank of its own.
2 is better than 1.
But again, you got to look at the totality of the season.
Let me ask you a question. Let's say it was flipped. Let's say it was flipped.
It's the PGA Player of the Year.
Let's say it was flipped.
Not the Golf Player of the Year, because you could throw in Bryson.
But let's say it was flipped, and Scotty was the one with the 2 majors, and he didn't have any of the wins that we mentioned. And
Xander had this exact resume,
wins,
I would be having this argument for Xander 100%, bro. Like, I'm looking at the sum of the work. Like, I totally understand 2 majors. That's why I preface with that. It's just you get 4 shots at majors. This is the toughest field in golf outright. Players from all around the world playing these pretty much. So the fact that you can win 2 of them, and both of them are very different. It's like, you put your nuts on the table. That's what Xander has done.
Hey,
and if he wins it, it's like I'm not gonna go, damn, Scotty should have won. I'll be like, all right, I can understand why they went that route, but if they went the Scotty route,
it would be super deserved.
Definitely. Like, you look at the season he had in totality. Yeah, Xander won. Xander won 2 majors. That's all I watched. Why did he get snubbed? You didn't see the whole season that Scotty had.
Tiger-esque. Scotty was definitely Tiger-esque.
Yeah, so I'd be curious to see where.
When it comes to being Tiger-esque, it has a certain expectation, and I think that Scotty knows that now. He's going to be able to get into a better rhythm of his life and golf, right? And how those things intertwine. Now that like you said, he has a child. He's going to be very involved in the upbringing of that child. And he's also going to be very involved in the world of golf, right? Because there's no way he's giving that up. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Hey.
I want to see. I'm very curious to see. I mean, there's still some more stuff that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Right? We got the FedEx playoffs and all that.
Correct. That's going to be fun.
Right. And then they have a chance to keep
look out for my boy Justin Thomas.
I think it might come down to that. Like, whoever balls like between them 2,
walks away.
Whoever wins it,
walks
I think
away.
that'll be like, all right, that's the player of the year.
That's the icing on the cake.
I think so.
Let's see. Let's talk a little bit about the Olympics, dog, because this shit caught my eye over the weekend, right? I posted that clip of LeBron hitting that layup to put the U.S. up versus South Sudan, coached by Luol Deng, former Chicago Bull, ex-NBA player. Yeah, it was just weird, bro, to see this star-studded team, right? Star-studded team struggling against other countries. And, like, I don't know if it's because they're not playing their best. They went out there today and beat Germany, right? And of course, they were led by LeBron James. But it really causes some doubt for me to really put trust in this Olympic team to be like, yeah, these guys are going to win the gold outright for sure. We should be favored in every game, but there's going to be a lot of games that are a lot closer than what you think.
I mean, in that Sudan game, we were favored 41.5.
Ouch.
You imagine you bet that game, bro?
Ouch.
Just like, oh yeah, this is a lock right here, 41.5.
That's how you break your phone game.
And it was a 1-point game. Dog. And it came down to the last second. They had a shot to win it, actually, which was the scary part.
Yep. And more importantly, like, our guy is playing well, right? Bam's out there representing the Heat on that team, and he's really been.
Shout out to Bam. Happy birthday. He just had a birthday recently.
He's been one of those guys that the coaching staff is relying on because of the fact that, like we see every night, he can do so many things on the court. He can pass, he can shoot. We see him taking more threes now. Hopefully that kind of translates to the season.
I don't want
I
him
doubt
to do
it.
that.
Yeah, eventually you have to become a threat, dog. And the more of a shooter threat you are in today's NBA, the better your offense is gonna be. And I think that right now we're just at that point where we want to see Bam involved as much as he can be without being physically taxed too much. Because that USA shit is taxing, bro. It's taxing. It's 12 guys on a team, but you're playing a rotation of 7, 8, 9 guys. That's not a lot. Not a lot at all.
Well, we're definitely playing the right guys because, bro, that bucket that LeBron had, you know what it reminded me of?
Mm.
It gave me like flashbacks to LeBron doing that on Paul George back in like the Eastern Conference Finals in what, like 2011 or 2012 or whatever against the Pacers. Like, just that he's been doing that shit for 25 years, bro. That same exact little move right there, and he just can't stop it. He's just such a big dude. But I mean, we gotta start asserting our dominance, bro. I don't like seeing Team USA or anything USA like just barely getting by, bro. No. Like we deserve to see dominance.
Here's what I think, right? Because when I look at the group that these guys are in, it's like this is a very, very winnable group, right? Very winnable. You got Puerto Rico, they're gonna be tough, right? South Sudan shouldn't be as tough, right? And we also have Serbia, right? Potentially could be tough. But if you're talking about, all right, what's the Heat? I keep saying Heat because of Bam. But what's the USA team got to do here? You got to get two wins. 2 wins for sure. Walk away with that worst a loss. But go out there and get 2 wins. No losses, right?
No, man. That's not dominance. Like, our B squad should still be able to come in and dog anybody's A squad, bro. In my opinion, I know the world is kind of caught up and whatnot, but that's my expectation, bro. For especially, bro, basketball, like that's our sport, homie. Like it's not soccer, you know what I mean? Like, that's one thing. If USA men's soccer team is like, all right, yeah, you did their best, you know? Like, well, all right, cool. Like we didn't invent that. We invented this shit. Football too. That's why, like, when I heard we lost to Japan or whatever,
it's like, how?
I almost tore down every Dolphins memorabilia that I have, like all the football memorabilia that I have. Almost got rid of it. I was like, bro, I can't even be a fan of the sport after we lost to Japan. But yeah, I just think we got to dominate, bro. That group sounds like it's going to be a challenge, but we should still be able to win every game in that group, bro. That Puerto Rico game is the one that scares me, bro. Those damn Puerto Ricans are quick and they maneuver, dog. They get around. They're sneaky.
It's the hips.
They're always playing the bongos and shit.
What are you talking about, man?
You know what I'm talking about. You know what time it is.
No, bro. I think that Puerto Rican team is going to be tough, right? There, the annoying kid, Jose
Alvarado. That's exactly what I was talking about.
He's on the squad. He's on the squad. I hate that guy.
Bongos.
Yeah. And Sunday, we're going to have the real test, right? That's when it really starts to count for this USA men's Olympic team. They're going to be taking on Serbia Sunday the 28th. Gonna have to go out there and dominate pretty much, dog. Gotta go out there and dominate. Like, you gotta go out there and set the tone, right? And let everybody know, like, yeah, maybe we stumbled here and there trying to figure out the lineup. But now the lineup is set. The rotations are set. And fouls be damned. We're gonna stick to this rotation, and the best 6 to 7 players are gonna play over and over and over again until we get those 30-point leads, 40-point leads, and it's like, all right, now let's take those guys out. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for, but who knows?
Did you see the clip that was going viral of, like, they were like saying, "Oh, this is like our modern day Avengers" clip, and it was Jason Tatum, Steph Curry, and LeBron, and they were all doing their signature opening thing. Yeah. And LeBron was doing his chalk, which is obviously very famous, you know, the chalk toss.
It's LeBron.
Steph did his sprint. I guess that's his thing too, which is not. I don't know about. I mean, I don't really care. That's not that.
We don't watch them. They don't ever show that shit except for on the local networks.
And then Jason Tatum's thing is he pulls his ear.
Yeah.
He does this.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what, like, what, bro? Like, what a stretch. Like, when people are really grasping for straws for content, bro, it's like, Jesus.
It's out
like,
there, man.
Seriously, bro? Like,
especially with those guys.
What are we talking about?
Especially with those guys, right? Because
when Dwayne Wade was up pulling himself through the hoop, LeBron was tossing the chalk, and Melo was doing whatever Melo was doing.
I feel like they really only have to show LeBron Forget about the other guys.
Nah, but D Wade was always dope too.
No, I'm saying right now, they don't need to show Curry doing it. They don't need to show anybody else, dog, bro. LeBron James,
LeBron is
24/7 on that.
The bona fide star,
That's it.
And his son is not. His son has been struggling. What are your thoughts on Bronny?
All right, here it is.
Talk to me.
A lot of people talk about
this. We don't get into this, but you know what? We don't have. This is a dog days of summer. This is what we got to do.
Here's what I got on Bronny, right? I think that you got to give kids like him time to develop, right? If you think that Bronny is supposed to be LeBron James Jr., you're kidding yourself.
He's literally named LeBron James Jr.
But again, LeBron is a one of one, dog. Just like Jordan was a one on one. I'm sure there's been a million Jordans before Michael Jordan, and there's gonna be a million Jordans after Michael Jordan, but there's only gonna be a Michael Jordan. And that's what we got with LeBron James, dog. He's 40 years old, and he's still one of the best players in the world, dog. Like,
I think the whole Team USA voted him as their best player.
Bro, he's gonna be a torchbearer or a flag bearer or something like that, dog. You know what I mean? Like, this is LeBron James, dog. All right. I say that to say this: Bronny is never gonna be LeBron James. There's not gonna be another LeBron James. His thing is, let me see how good of an NBA player I can be. Can I be an NBA player? Can I take on that challenge? In order for us to see that, we have to give him time. That's why I think it's so smart and then so mature that he says, you know what, I'm willing to go to the G League just to get the reps and play against NBA level type guys and see what I can do and show these guys what I can do and earn my way. I'd rather him do that than what people assume, thinking that he's going to get a 12th spot on the bench. That's not going to happen, though. Because as much as the Lakers want to appease LeBron James, they're not going to risk their team and the health of the squad by taking off that spot with somebody who's not going to be able to contribute right now, right? And we all can see that Bronny and a lot of other college players are not able to contribute right now. I'll give you a good example. There's a reason why Ware has looked so good for the Heat, right? It's because he is NBA ready. A lot of the guys that he's playing with are not NBA ready. You know what I mean? Which allows him to be like, this guy right here, watch this, right? Now, in the NBA, it's going to be like, fuck, now I got to put in work to get by this guy, or I got to be able to muscle up to take on this guy. It's a different level, right? And I think that Bronny has to learn, along with a lot of college kids, in that G League level and say, all right, this is how I'm going to become a pro. So just like we didn't have that expectation on Jordan's kids to go out there and be superstars and just be just like his dad, we shouldn't look at Bronny in that same light, because he won't be LeBron James. Neither will his other son, who's better than this current son.
Yeah, Bryce is good.
Bryce is really good. I saw a clip of him getting up and blocking the crap out of somebody at the rim.
That was another viral clip.
He's gonna be a good player.
I think he'll be better than Bronny.
Right? But neither one of them, not even combined, won't be as good as their dad. That's it. You know, that's just it. We got to take away that expectation with those kids. You got to do it.
I agree.
That's all I got.
You know, that's something worth mentioning.
For sure. Maybe not so much worth mentioning, but we'll mention it anyways. We saw our guy from BKFC, Mike Perry, right? He was fighting Jake Paul this weekend, dog, and he got TKO'd in like the 6th round or some shit like that. I didn't watch the fight. I ended up going to sleep.
I mean, I saw the highlight of him, getting knocked out. But honestly, bro, with those Jake Paul fights, like, I'm like so over them. Like, it's just these weird, like, unsanctioned events, even though they're pro fights or whatever. They're like, they're almost set up, you know what I mean? Like, it feels set up. I think, like, contractually he sets it up where, like, they can't do certain things or whatever. So I don't know. Mike Perry was a last minute replacement. I figured he was gonna lose that fight
for sure. And I think that Mike Perry's thing is really without gloves, right? Like, because gloves take away the sting of what he's able to do with his hands.
He's a bare knuckle beast.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anybody would be able to really take on him in the bare knuckle championship like that, right? Not Jake Paul, not a lot of these guys that are boxers, because it's a different type of boxing, right? And it's something that Mike is really, really good at. But yeah, bro, I wasn't.
That card had some other good knockouts too.
Serrano looked good. Bro, the one that I posted, man, Jesus, that dude put the lights out, man. Sleep. What's that dude's name? Something with a J. But yeah, he was taking a beating that whole fight, dog. because buddy that was beating him up, H2O Silva, was like laying down the blows on him and really like just toying with him and hit him with some power shots throughout the whole fight. And then he got cautious one time, dog. And when he got uncautious that one time, buddy got put to sleep, dog. On a beautiful right jab, it turned into a right hook, turned into a left hook, and buddy was out before he fell down. Silva was down. What's the kid's name?
Is it Body?
Yeah, that's him, dog.
Lucas?
Yeah, Lucas. There you go. Not with a J. It's Lucas, dog. With an amazing knockout, dog. Go check it out on my Instagram. It's worth it.
It was sick.
Sick knockout. And I'm telling you, like, he was getting beat down, dog. Showed a lot of heart, that fight. A lot of heart. Some good fights on that card, man. But unfortunately, it's not enough to attract, like, the hardcore boxing fan yet. And right now, there's not a good boxing match to look forward to until the Crawford fight, because we kind of want to see what Bud looks like after his big victory and just see him and his shape. Let's see. It's going to be interesting. UFC right now is probably more entertaining. We got Leon Edwards and I think it's not Makachev, this other dude, Marabi, I think, going down at UFC London.
One's 304 Saturday. That's the Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leon Edwards and Muhammad.
That's it. Bilal.
Curtis
And
Blades.
the first time they fight, like the fight ended weird because he kind of got poked. He kind of had to quit the fight, whatever. It was like a no contest or some shit. It was weird.
And Patty the Baddie's also on that card too.
Bro, that guy, Jesse, shout out to Jesse. Sent me a picture of Batty, dog. That dude was massively fat, dog. And then they showed a picture of him like a week ago, completely shredded, dog. And I'm like, how do these guys do that? It's impossible, dog. But he does it, bro. And he's a legit badass, but he's fighting a killer.
Is 305 the one that's going to be at the Sphere?
Yes.
Because that's the one I'm really looking forward to.
That one's going to be really good.
They already said they're going to do some crazy shit for
that fight,
yeah. So I'm excited.
Maybe we should go out there.
I don't know about going out there, but
why not, dog?
Bro, it's going to be thousands of dollars for a ticket.
We can afford it, dog.
We can afford it.
Maybe I can't afford that.
I don't got a business
We ain't got it like that, dog.
But that's going to be the exciting one. But yeah, bro, you know UFC is where it's at, bro.
Yeah, man.
They're going to be consistently the best place to watch,
for sure,
action, bro. So Saturday night.
And this card is going to be great.
304.
Yeah, it's going to be great, bro. And I'm really looking forward to that main event, dog. Let's see what Leon Edwards got. Because it's been a while since he's fought. So
yeah, I
wonder if that ring rust is real, bro.
Absolutely.
Especially at that championship level. But, it kind of makes you want to tell a friend.
To tell a friend?
To tell another friend.
To tell everybody that they know.
To tell everybody they know about this amazing podcast and showing what we got going on. We got a lot of things lined up for you guys. A lot of content dropping soon.
Can't wait for football season.
It's almost there, dog. We're right there. We're right there. But the best way to know how it's coming is by hitting that notification button. Make sure you guys just subscribe and telling a friend to do that. Until next time, y'all. Peace.